Hello and welcome in as your Elmira Pioneers, set for another day of baseball here tonight for the first time from Utica, New York. This will be the first time the Blue Sox and the Pioneers square off this season. We'd like to welcome you all into the Miller's Mowing pregame show. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing at 607-302-8226. Tonight, the Pioneers going back to Brendan Kester. Kester going to get the start on the hill for the Pioneers. Kester's numbers this season: 6.5 ERA, 1 win, 3 losses, 4 starts, 18 innings pitched, 15 hits, 18 runs, 13 of them earned, 15 bases on balls, 13 strikeouts. So Kester looking to shore up his numbers as he's had a rough start of it, but I'll tell you what, Kester's looked good his last couple outings. He's been out there. He's managed to throw the ball, keep control, and really work counts, which is exactly what you need to do when you're getting behind and really struggling there. He had a couple appearances that just did not go his way, but the last time out, tough luck loser, then not much you can do about it as Kester trying to get everything to start falling his way. We'll see what he can do here tonight. Kester going to be going one-on-one against Avery Cook for the opposition, as Utica's hurler tonight will be the first one to see the Pioneers this season. Cook on the year has been pitching fairly well, 2.57 ERA, no decisions, 3 games played, 2 starts, 14 innings pitched, 13 hits, 7 runs, 4 earned, 8 bases on balls, and 10 strikeouts. Cook is going to be a tough opponent for the Pioneers, who have struggled to get going early here. When the Pioneers find success, it has been when they come in and get going early. A freshman out of St. John's, local here from Utica. So we'll have to see if the Pioneers can figure him out and get things going. We're going to send it down to Coach's Corner. We want to thank everybody once again tuning in on YouTube Live. You can also jump over to Mixler.com or just hit play on the Pioneers website right up there at the top right corner, and you'll be able to hear Coach's Corner as we go down, and we'll be speaking with head coach Matt Birch. You're listening to Elmira Pioneers Baseball here on Mixler.com. All right, so there you heard it from head coach Matt Birch, a write-up that featured the movie Forrest Gump, and he was clearly feeling inspired. So we'll see what he can do here, as now the Pioneers will have to get going. They're introducing the crowd. I am very, very close to a speaker, so I want to apologize to fans, as I'm sure you're getting quite a bit of that. We'll go through the lineups here for ourselves in just a moment, as we want to remind you, you're listening to the Miller's Mowing pregame show. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607-302-8226. Going to be Mejia leading it off in center field. Brody Moore at short, batting second. Preston Moore playing third, will bat third. Nathan Peng will step into the number 4 spot, as now Mason Ruhlman, designated hitting tonight, will bat fifth. Nathan Berg will bat sixth. Brennan Dorigi will play right field and bat seventh. Bryce Moskowitz will bat eighth and catch tonight. And Zach Turner will be out in left field. Starting pitcher, as we already discussed, Brendan Kester out of Kentucky. So hopefully, as I said, he's had a rough couple outings, but hopefully he will be getting going. The game will start here in just 7 minutes, 6:45. We want to thank everybody who's tuning in, as now again, we'll check out the lineup on the opposite side for the Utica Blue Sox. Tyler Simon will play shortstop and bat first, leading off. Robbie Young at first base will bat second. Louis DeLeon will bat third and play second base. Josh Hatcher will play right field and bat fourth. Brenton Phillips will play center field and bat fifth. Dewey Roden will designate hit tonight, and he will bat next in the order, followed by Ryan Enos playing third base, and batting eighth. Aaron Pravitsky plays left field and will bat ninth. Avery Cook on the mound. So the Pioneers will certainly have their work cut out for them here tonight. Going to be a interesting start for the Pioneers. We've talked about the importance of getting things going, as they have had some trouble when they haven't been able to get the early inning runs. The early inning runs have led to victory for the Pioneers, and that's got to be the focus for Elmira as they work through tonight's game. It's always a tough one to try to figure out how to get the hits, especially against a team that you have not seen before. That always creates some issues, but I'm sure the Pioneers have a plan. Matt Birch certainly was not happy with the effort last night, so they're going to be coming out and hopefully getting things going. The Pioneers will look to get the early inning hits and get things started in the right direction. So the Star Wars music has ended, meaning I believe now we're going to get the starting lineup for the Utica Blue Sox. As we want to say one more time, if your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607-302-8226. You won't want to miss a moment of action here tonight. This is the first time the Pioneers and the Blue Sox have faced off this season. So, as the Pioneers get ready for their first at-bats of the games, of course, we'll have the national anthem as well to follow after we get this, as we get everything set here. Again, right near that speaker, I got to tell you, it's blowing my ears out, so I do truly apologize. As now, once again, the Elmira Pioneers waiting for the home team to take the field, as now they are starting their introduction. You get a look at that here live on YouTube Live. Hopefully the vision is all right here. Get a good chance to see everything from our position high up above here, as now once again De Leon will head out now, as again I'm barely able to hear myself here tonight, folks, as we want to apologize for the overly loud atmosphere here, as once again the team taking the field, as now we'll be heading for the national anthem here shortly. But so we can get through this, I'm going to head to commercial break a little bit early. And when we come back, we will have the opening pitch and the end of the Miller's Mowing pregame show. Once again, if your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607-302-8226. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. All right, and so with that, the Elmira Pioneers will go to work. Hopefully, they'll able to get everything going here. As we said, it's been about the quick starts. When the Pioneers get them, they have been effective. Unfortunately, it has been a rough couple of games as they have not been able to find those early leads, as now they will look to do that here. Sorry about that, the interruption during the pregame show. Just could not even hear myself talk, so did the best I could, and we went down to a commercial break, and that went a little bit longer than usually anticipated, and then we heard the national anthem, which was a bit drawn out tonight, as now, once again, the Elmira Pioneers getting ready for their first at-bats of the night, their first at-bats of the season against the Utica Blue Sox. Utica has taken the field in their home whites. The Pioneers will take the field in their navy blue road jerseys. See how the Pioneers can match up here tonight. As once again, taking on Avery Cook. A little bit different than the teams they've played so far. I mean, we saw a lot of Geneva early, a lot of Newark early, and now the Pioneers will get their first look at Utica here just before the All-Star break. The All-Star break, of course, coming up on Monday and Tuesday, so just one more game. And by the way, that game is at home as the Elmira Pioneers trying to end it's a little bit over the halfway point of the season on a hot streak, want to win the next two games. So Cook getting his stretches out. We'll see how the Pioneers hitters can choose to deal with him. The interesting thing I'm seeing here out of the warm-up pitches is Cook working the corners already. He has been pretty much trying to move corner to corner on each one of his warm-up pitches. We'll see if that continues. He's positioning his catcher outside. Of course, an interesting strategy when you consider Jeff Mejia to lead things off. Then Brody Preston and Nathan Pang will be the 2, 3, 4 batters. Those are all right-handed hitters, but Mason Ruhlman steps in today as a left-handed hitter. Pioneers really got away from that heavy left-handed lineup that they had for a good couple of weeks. Well, they were, it was a couple of days, but seemed like a couple of weeks as they were on a winning streak. What really seemed to work was mixing up the batters, the lefties, righties, and now we'll see as Jeff Mejia heads up to the batter's box. We'll see what he can do.
Jeff Mejia.
Mejia, who's really been effective as a leadoff hitter as of late. It has been an interesting one for Mejia. He's now batting .333 in 21 attempts as a leadoff batter. So Mejia steps back in as he looks out. First pitch of the ball game coming set right here. See if Mejia chooses or no, he will take strike one there on the inside corner. So far, so good for Avery Cook, the starting pitcher here for Utica, as Mejia going to try to find an appearance here on first base. Pioneers had some trouble getting the leadoff men on last night in Geneva, as they would get 8 hits on the night. That should be enough to produce some runs. The only run came off a home run back in the top of the ninth. That one will get out of here as you hear the broken glass sound. We remind you, make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. So Mejia steps in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Up on the board as Elmira trying to get their first base runner of the night on their first batter. So the windup and the pitch. Outside again, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 count to Mejia as he leads things off here for the Pioneers tonight. Mejia steps back in. He looks out as the windup and pitch begins. Cut on. This one hit out there towards left field. That one should be playable, and it will be. So Mejia goes 0 for 1 on the night to start things off, and that's going to bring up Brody Moore. Brody Moore, who's come out. The player out of Auburn, he joined the team late. As we've said a few times, Auburn went deep into the College World Series. Brody's hit .302 since coming in, though, 13 for 43. Moore had a little bit of a tough spot last night. Wasn't able to really get things going. As now the windup and pitch taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out as Brody steps back into the dish. Brody going to be looking to get his offense going. Last night was an oddity, to say the least, as he grounds it up the middle, played by the shortstop in time as that will move Brody Moore 0 for 1. So Preston Moore, who really got things going last night, earned his first home run of the summer as he's batting .340. He hit the one-run shot that was the only run the Pioneers were able to tally last night in the top of the ninth as the Pioneers fell to Geneva. Preston steps back in as now he looks out with a wind and the pitch taken there for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 count here as once again Preston Moore steps back in. Preston waiting. The wind and the pitch taken for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. As Preston Moore trying to find his way on base. Doesn't want to go 1-2-3 here in the top of the first inning. The wind and the pitch in there for strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As again, Elmira trying to find a way to get a base runner here. Again, it's hard when you don't know a team. When you come in against a Geneva and Newark, you know what to expect out of the starting pitcher. That one is swung on and gets away. Preston Moore got a late read on that one, thrown up and to the first baseman. Preston Moore going to be kicking himself as he should have been running right off the and didn't notice that the ball had squirted away from the catcher. So 0 for 3 basically in the top of the first inning. The Pioneers unable to get anything started against the Utica Blue Sox. We'll have to see what Utica can do against Brendan Kester when we come back here on Mixler.com. All right, and so with that, it's time for the bottom of the first. Pioneers are going to be looking to get it started against Tyler Simon. Simon, the shortstop for the Utica Blue Sox. Simon, as a leadoff hitter, has had 44 at-bats, batting .341, so certainly has been effective in his role this season. Brendan Kester getting the last one of his warm-up throws as now the throw down. And the Pioneers will get ready to go to work. Elmira trying to find a way to get through the bottom of the first. I'll tell you what, the starting pitching has really turned things around as they have come in and made a difference in games. Unfortunately, it's been an issue of bullpen where things just aren't held when the starter does get off to a good start. It's been that way all season. As now, Kester will deliver his first pitch. That one is a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. So again, Kester looking back in. Comes set, winding and delivering. Low again, 2 balls, no strikes. Pulled away, and that will go back towards the parking lot. So a reminder that you need to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber and Auto Glass. As now, stepping back in, Kester comes set. He winds and deals. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. As Kester, now in danger of giving up his first walk here. Kester, fidgeting out there with his ball in his hand, tends to do that when he gets behind. The wind and the pitch Inside ball 4. Kester will walk the first man he faces, and that will bring up Robbie Young. Robbie Young this season, the best hitter on the Utica Blue Sox. Just barely, but he is the top hitter. 38 for 100, so he's batting 380. And we'll see what Kester can do with him. So once again, Kester looking in. As again, Kester has a runner on first. He does tend to get a little preoccupied with that runner over there. He throws over immediately. Just to batter home that point that I was just making. Kester, a very talented pitcher out of the University of Kentucky, just has had some trouble finding the strike zone this summer. See if he can get to it here as he throws inside. 1 ball, no strikes. So Kester heads back out to the mound. Trying to take a moment as the runner over there on first, Tyler Simon, so far this year has stolen 12 bases. He leads the team in stolen bases for Utica. As Kester will wind and deliver. Cut on, and that one's going to get down in the gap between right and center. Scooping it up and throwing in. Center fielder throws to second. It's not in time as Moore was unable to get the tag down. As once again, Elmira having some issues right here in the first inning. Robbie Young gets a and that's going to bring up Luis De Leon. So Luis De Leon heads up to the plate. De Leon hitting .371, 23 for 62 with runners in scoring position. De Leon hitting .524 in 21 at-bats, including 2 home runs. As now the windup and the pitch. Right over the heart with a strike. So Kester finding the zone now. No balls, 1 strike as Kester looks out. He comes back set. Winds and delivers. Bounces one up, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Kester will go right back to work. As again, runners stand at second and third. Kester still needs 3 outs. He's got to find a way through the heart of the lineup. 3, 4, 5. As the windup and pitch from Kester popped up here. As Nathan Berg heads over to play the ball. He's got the grab. Runner at third dancing around over there. As he has to get back in tag before he could do anything anyway. So Kester will go back to work as Josh Hatcher steps up. Hatcher coming up. He's .354 on the season. With runners in scoring position, he is batting .273 in 22 attempts, including a home run and 12 RBIs. Kester going to have to try to work his way through to the left-handed batter here. As Kester looks in. The windup and the pitch. Outside, bounces away. And again, running down to pick it up is Moskowitz. So it goes back to Kester. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. As the Pioneers still need of 2 to get out of the inning. Going to be a difficult one here against the second-place team in the West. As they came out swinging a hot bat already. As now coming set, the wind and pitch from Kester in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Our first Tioga Downs showdown of the evening. Don't forget, you too can be an all-star. Head on down to Tioga Downs for their summer concert series and catch Smash Mouth live this summer at Tioga Downs. Kester comes back set. He checks in, winds and delivers. Cut on, foul ball. As he sent his lead runner, Tyler Simon, sprawling in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Brendan Kester. So Kester comes right back here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, looking for that put-away pitch. That also has been an issue for the Pioneers this season. Kester still moving around out there, a little bit less nervous in the ball movement out there in between pitches. Certainly can see as you're watching on YouTube Live, the pitch coming in, hit there towards center right, on the move, but not going to get there. That one's driven out to the warning track, and again, the throw-in will come. That will be a 2-run double for the Utica Blue Sox. As Hatcher wastes little time putting the Blue Sox on the board. So now with a runner out at second base, Brendan Kester will have to go back to work, as that's going to bring up Brenton Phillips. Phillips batting .270 on the year, 20 hits and 74 at bats. Phillips, with runners in scoring position, has hit just .296 in 27 appearances, including 9 RBIs. So Utica has the first 2 runs of the game as Kester looks in. The wind and the pitch, cut on, ground ball towards third, scooped up there by Moore, thrown over to first, and Peng can't make the grab. That'll go over to the fence, and Peng will pick it up, throw. No, he's going to hold on to it. Thought we were going to get a throw over to second, and now we have runners at second and third, and the runner coming into home, and the tag is, hold on, the umpire throws his hands up and sends the runner back to third. I'm not sure. Time was apparently called here, I believe, as now Moskowitz had put himself in between the runner. I think that may have been an out. But runners at second and third now, still just 1 out, as again, Pioneers are really having some trouble here, as I'm not sure. I'm waiting, as it does go up as an error. So Brenton Phillips will go 0 for 1, reaching on an error. That's going to bring up the next man in the order, Dewey Roden. Roden batting .300. So Roden, who's coming up with the runners in scoring position again, second and third. .333 and 15 at bats, has 5 RBIs. And I'll tell you what, the unfaced batters are getting limited for the Pioneers. Kester having a lot of trouble here in the bottom of the first. The wind and pitch is in there for ball 1, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, as again, Elmira trying to gets another 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out count, another Tioga Downs showdown, as Kester waits, has his sign and delivers, swung on and fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Standing over there on third base, Josh Hatcher, who hit a double just 2 batters ago. Have to see if the Pioneers can put down Dewey Roden, as Roden steps back in. Utica with the 2-0 lead certainly jumped all over Brendan Kester here to start the game. The windup and pitch from Kester, low, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, as again the Pioneers. We talked about the importance of getting off to a quick start. Well, they weren't able to do it in the top of the first. Now they're going to have to play catch-up, as they already trail 2-0. Kester comes back set. He winds and deals across. That will miss again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Infield all brought up around the infield grass, as you can see live on YouTube Live. Pioneers playing that prevent defense, which did bite them a couple of times last night. Kester comes back set. He winds and delivers. Misses the outside corner, and he will walk the bases loaded, as that's going to bring up Matt Parkinson. Parkinson on the year batting .268 with the bases loaded. Parkinson batting 0 for 2. Does have an RBI. So we'll see what Parkinson can do here.
Parkinson.
Gonna step right back in here as he looks out. Now dealing with the bases loaded jam, just 1 out. Fortunate part about bases loaded means out at any base. Thrown in there for a strike. Kester gets the first one. 0-1. As again, the Elmira Pioneers struggling just all around here. As coming back set is Kester. He will wind and deliver. Just missed inside there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Downs showdown as Kester comes back set. Kester looks in. He will wind and deliver. In there for a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Brendan Kester. Kester steps back on the mound. Finishes his pre-pitch ritual. tossing the ball around in his hand a couple of times, as now he looks in. Fielders have all returned to their normal positions except first, who's playing in on the grass. That one is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As again, Elmira trying to get themselves through the bottom of the first, trailing 2-0 already. Kester looks in. He comes set. He winds and deals. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. As again, Kester works himself into trouble. Brendan Kester coming right back in. Looks in. Takes a breath to try to get himself together. Needs just 1 strike. It's been put away pitches that have cursed the Pioneers as he throws low. That was ball 4, and that will walk in a run as Matt Parkinson earns an RBI off of the walk. That's going to bring Matt Birch out to the pitcher's mound. Noah Rubino jogging down towards the bullpen. I imagine he's going to tell somebody to get up and working. You can't imagine this is going to be allowed to stand too much longer, as now Rubino heading back for the Pioneers bench. It looks like Stephen Rossi getting up. So Rossi getting stretched out there in the bullpen. Rubino will head back for the dugout. As again, Elmira just trying to find a way to get through innings, and it's come late today. It's coming early as the struggles just continue to occur. Matt Birch trying to talk with his hurler, get him calmed down. Only the 1 out. As again, Elmira already down 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. So Birch has his conference being broken up by the home plate umpire. Not sure what the conversation is now with the home plate umpire being there, as Birch appears to be smiling. He will head back for the dugout as Moskowitz returns to the backside of the plate. This is going to bring up Ryan Enos. Enos, the third baseman. So Enos steps in, and we'll look out as again you see Brennan Kester just continually moving that ball around in his hand, just almost as if a nervous twitch. The pitch in there, 1-0, 1 ball, no strikes. As Stephen Rossi getting himself ready. Kester's thrown a lot of pitches here early. He's now facing the number 8 batter in the lineup as the pitch bounces away from Moskowitz. 2 balls, no strikes. Pioneers are going to have to find a way to respond in the top of the second whenever we get there. I'll tell you what, bases are loaded, only 1 out, and the Pioneers have not had a lot of good looks here as this one has popped up once again to right center. The catch will be made there by Schultz. He throws it in with some hurl, but not going to get the runner coming in from third as he throws in and, excuse me, that wasn't, I had myself all wound up here. I apologize. That was Brennan DeRigi. We're used to seeing Garrett Schultz gun guys down from right field, but Garrett Schultz getting a unfamiliar day off, so had to recollect myself. Second out is received. However, the sac fly will bring up the number 9 batter and earn Enos an RBI. Aaron Pravisky comes up with runners on first and second, 2 outs. As this one popped up right back again to center right. And that catch will be made as DeRigi ends the inning finally. It took a full trip through the order, but Kester finally out of it. Pioneers trailing 4-0 as we head for the top of the second inning. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so as we're back here, Nathan Peng is going to lead things off, followed by Mason Ruhlman and Nathan Berg. Middle of the lineup, 4, 5, 6 are going to have to get something started here for the Elmira Pioneers. It has been a rough one so far, as once again, Utica bats through the whole order. Peng will come up as a leadoff batter. Peng this season as a leadoff man, 143 in 7 attempts. See what he can do here as he steps back up. Get a good look at him here on YouTube Live. Peng looks out. First pitch. In there for a strike. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike as the Pioneers trail 4-0. We said it before, the Blue Sox batting all the way through their lineup in the first inning. The windup and the pitch. Taken for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 count as, again, Nathan Peng trying to get something started. Peng this season, 261 hitter, 12 for 46. The windup and the pitch over the head of Peng, as that'll be 2 balls, 1 strike. So Peng had to duck out of the way of that one, as now he'll be cautious as he steps back in. Pioneers desperate, looking for some offensive power here. Want to support Brendan Kester, as Kester had a heck of a time getting through that first inning. Stephen Rossi already warming down in the bullpen. The windup and pitch cut on there. That will be popped up and foul, as once again Peng brings the count back even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Nathan Peng stepping back in as he's facing off with Avery Cook. Cook looks in, stretching himself out there on the mound first. Peng waiting on his pitch. Peng waiting, the windup and the pitch. Cut on right back up the middle. Snagged out of the air by Avery Cook and thrown over to first base in time. So down goes Nathan Peng. 0 for the first 4 now as Mason Ruhlman heads to the plate. Ruhlman going to step back in. Ruhlman has been the Taco Bell K-Man almost everywhere we've gone. So, Ruhlman looks out, as again the Pioneers have just had some trouble getting things going. I'm going to try to turn that around right here. The wind and the pitch. Cut on and missed. 0 for 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As Ruhlman trying to deny the fans their tacos. They've already gotten some fries from Burger King for a double back in the bottom of the first inning as Ruhlman fouls that one away. So, off the roof, no balls, 2 strikes as Mason Ruhlman trying to get some offense started for the Pioneers. As now Ruhlman steps in. He's looking out as Cook will go back to work. Cook winds and deals. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2. Ruhlman step back in. As again, Avery Cook trying to keep his rhythm moving. Certainly had to sit for a long while. The wind and pitch. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 count here. Mason Ruhlman trying to work himself through this inning. Would love to get a hit here and get something started. The Pioneers have gone 0 for 4 through the first 4 men to come to the plate. Pitch outside. No, they're going to punch out Ruhlman. Ruhlman couldn't believe it. And now all the fans get their tacos. So Ruhlman goes down on strikes. And that will be 0 for 5 for the Pioneers on the night. It's going to bring up Nathan Berg. Berg steps in. As again, Nathan will try to start something here for the Pioneers. It seems like we said that a lot. As Berg to be followed by Brennan DeRigi. The wind and pitch taken for strike 1, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. As Berg, who was selected to the All-Star game as a pitcher, is also hitting .240 this season. The wind and pitch cut on. This one will be hit down the left field line and stay fair. So Berg, as a blooped ball out there in left field, means Nathan Berg's going to reach second base. So Berg will go 1 for 1, single, and moving to second on the error. So Again, the Pioneers finally getting something started. Brendan DeRigi will be the next man up to the dish. DeRigi batting .230 on the season. With men in scoring position and 2 outs, DeRigi batting .200. He's 2 for 10. Does have an RBI. Would love to answer back that strong bottom of the first from Utica. DeRigi looking at his bat. He talked to it a couple nights ago and ended up putting a bomb over the fence. Certainly wouldn't mind seeing that again. DeRigi steps back in. The wind and pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. So DeRigi has to go back to work here. Top of the second inning, 4-0 in favor of Utica. However, as we look up at the scoreboard, only 2 hits for the Utica Blue Sox. Coming back set. The wind and the delivery. High and outside again. 2 balls, no strikes, as Avery Cook might be a little bit more shaken up here after giving up that single to left, and then, of course, the looped ball in left field to move the man Nathan Berg out to second base. So Cook trying to find the strike zone now with a man to focus on back at second. The wind and pitch outside again. 3 balls, no strikes. 3-0 count as Avery Cook has seemingly lost the strike zone. So Berg will take his lead off of second base, trying to keep an eye on the fielders as DeRigi certainly wouldn't mind a walk here. So coming back set, the wind and the pitch. Taken for ball 4. DeRigi will head down on 4 straight pitches. So after eliminating the first 5 batters of the night, a single and a move to second on the error, and then a walk, as that'll bring up Bryce Moskowitz. Moskowitz, the catcher tonight. He steps up.
Number 14, Bryce Moskowitz.
Moskowitz this year not had the start to the season he would have hoped for, but .231 certainly respectable as he steps up with runners on first and second with 2 outs. Moskowitz looks. The windup and the pitch. Taken high. 1 ball, no strikes. So 5 straight balls since the single. Pioneers trying to battle their way back into this one, trailing 4-0 here in the top of the second inning. Utica's pitcher, Avery Cook, comes back set. He looks in, winds and deals, cut on and fouled away down towards the Pioneers bullpen, as now it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. As again, Bryce Moskowitz looking to make something happen here. A hit to any side would most certainly allow the Elmira Pioneers to get a run in, as Nathan Berg can move out there at second base. Berg has 4 stolen bases on the year. I'm sure we won't see him trying to move here, but I just wanted to illustrate the speed as he bounces around back at second base. The wind and the pitch. Cut on right back towards the second baseman. Played up there, thrown over to first in time, and the Pioneers will strand 2. So the end of 1.5, 4-0 for Utica as Utica comes back to the plate. Pioneers are trailing. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so Tyler Simon will come up to the dish to lead things off yet again. He walked in his first appearance, as now Kester will continue to be the pitcher for the Pioneers. Nobody warming, as Rossi has apparently sat down. We'll admit a little surprise there, as Kester truly struggled to get through that first inning. The wind and pitch, taken for a strike, so Kester comes out to instill some confidence in his coach. No balls, 1 strike, as the Pioneers trailing 4-0 here. The windup and the pitch from Kester, taken for a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. The leadoff hitter trying to get on again. He reached on a walk back in the bottom of the first inning. Here in the bottom of the second, he's leading off again. Cut on and fouled back, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 the count. Nobody out yet, as Kester trying to have a much more focused inning than he had back in the bottom of the first. We talked about the numbers coming in here, as getting set again is Simon. The wind and the pitch. Cut on and miss. Simon goes down on strikes. So that's looking a lot better for Kester, as that'll bring up Robbie Young. Young, we talked about it. He went 1 for 1 with a double. Batting .380 on the season. He's got 7 doubles, 1 triple, and 3 home runs. He's got 56 total bases. That's just beyond impressive, as Kester will now have to try to find a way to deal with him. The wind and the pitch. High and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Kester going to have to keep this score right where it is, as the Pioneers have had some trouble getting things going here tonight. However, we saw a little glimpse of hope at the tail end of the top of the second. That one thrown outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. So Kester have to find the spot for Robbie Young, and very few pitchers in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League have, as I said, a .380 batting average. In there for a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kester coming right back. Again, you see the movement of the ball in his hands, trying to relax himself. I'm not exactly sure. Certainly seems to be a nervous tick for Kester, as that one is off the outside corner. 3 balls, 1 strike. So once again, Robbie Young threatening to reach base again. 3 balls. The wind and the pitch. That one missed again. So ball 4, and Robbie Young will take a walk. It looked good from where I was standing, but obviously I'm a much higher elevation here. That's going to bring up Luis De Leon. So Luis comes up. He looks out, as the man standing on first, Robbie Young, has 5 stolen bases on the year. De Leon, again, not far behind. Robbie Young batting .371. Kester will go back to the stretch. The wind and the pitch is outside, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. So again, the bullpen very quiet out there. Not sure how long a leash Kester is going to have here in just the second inning of work. He has only given up 2 hits, but unfortunately, a lot of walks again, and that has kind of been the story of Kester's season. When he's on point and throwing strikes, he has good outings. When he's throwing a lot of balls and missing, the opposite is true. That one on the inside is going to miss again. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 count, 1 out. Runner stands at first. Pioneers have allowed 4 runs already here this evening. As coming back set, Luis De Leon missed. That one was in there for a strike, as the stolen base will be on, and Robbie Young will move himself back into scoring position. De Leon, 2 balls, 1 strike now. Excuse me, 2-2. I believe was the sign I just saw there, as now the windup coming here from Kester, as now time is called by De Leon. As again, More conversation here at the plate. De Leon having a conversation with the home plate umpire. So 2-1 count as now everything. As Kester looks in. Kester winds and delivers. High and inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Brendan Kester, who's had a rough outing here through the first 1 1/3. He looks in. Checks the runner back at second. The wind and the pitch. Cut on and fouled off. That one hits Moskowitz in the mask. That will bring a 3-ball, 2-strike count up here at the plate. So Kester will get a brand new baseball. Moskowitz appears to be okay. As now the umpire walked that one out to him. Not sure why that was. As Kester really, again, fidgety with that baseball. Kester steps back on the mound. Looks in, 3-ball, 2-strike count. This next pitch will be definitive one way or the other. The wind and the pitch cut on. This one popped up. Should be playable. Back behind second base, Nathan Berg has the read, makes the catch, and throws it back in. So, a good play there as De Leon makes the second out of the bottom of the second inning. That's going to bring up Josh Hatcher.
Josh Hatcher.
Hatcher has a double with 2 RBIs. Responsible for 2 of the runs back in the first inning. Now again comes up batting with a runner in scoring position. Hatcher this time, though, having to do it with 2 outs. When he has that situation, he's batting a $167. Has only had that opportunity 6 times, as that is thrown inside, 1 ball, no strikes. So Kester goes back out to the mound. Keeping a sharp eye back on Robbie Young, standing over at second base. Kester comes set. He turns around, throws, and that one will squirt into the outfield. Kester should have held up as that will advance the runner to third on the throw. Poor decision-making there by Brendan Kester. So, runner stands at third base, and it won't take much for Josh Hatcher. Just needs a bloop single anywhere. 1-0 count. We had a runner in scoring position already, but with that missed throw, that makes it even closer, as scooping it out of the dirt was Moskowitz. Kester very, very in tune with the runner standing there on third base. The faked steal of home certainly drew Kester's attention. So Kester, as a right-handed pitcher, stares directly at third base. The wind and pitch. Taken outside. 3 balls, no strikes. As again, Josh Hatcher, double 2 RBIs. He's going to have to be sharp here, as Kester should be trying to go right down the heart just to get the called strike, and that's low. So there's a walk, as Hatcher will earn himself a free pass. Brenton Phillips will come up 0 for 1. He reached on an error back in the first inning.
The left fielder, number 19,
As
Brenton
now,
Phillips.
Pioneers pitcher, Brendan Kester, trying to get out of this inning. First and third for the Utica Blue Sox. It's a 4-0 game here in the bottom of the second inning. Kester comes set. He winds and delivers. Taken outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Kester really having trouble feeling that zone. As again, Kester will go back. He comes set. Looks in. As the windup and pitch from Kester inside this time. 2 balls, no strikes. Brenton Phillips trying to make his way on base for the second time tonight. A runner 90 feet from home. As again, we're only in the bottom of the second inning. 4-0 in favor of the Utica Blue Sox. Cut on, popped up. This should be playable for the center fielder. Ranging back, and the catch will be made. That will do it for the bottom of the second. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. Pioneers 0, Utica 4. All right, so I do want to apologize to Marion Decker as we cut her ad off there briefly during the intermission. So we're going to give her a nice clean one here. Marion Decker Insurance has been helping people in Elmira for over 34 years. Shouldn't you have an ace in the bullpen? Call 603-1100 and protect. Will come back up as Zach Turner will go to work. This season, the average not where he wants it to be, a .067, has just had one hit in 15 attempts up at the plate. Turner looks out, the wind and the pitch, cut on and popped up. This should be playable for the first baseman as he heads into foul territory, makes the grab, and that will put Turner down 0 for 1 on just one pitch. So the top of the lineup comes back up as Mejia will look to get something started here for the Pioneers. Mejia to be followed by Moore. It was 9-1-2 to start the top of the third inning. Mejia looks out. As now he will go one-on-one with Avery Cook. The wind and the pitch. Taken for strike one, 0-1. Elmira Pioneers, I'll tell you what, when they've gotten the game going early, they tend to work well and work quickly. Has not been the case here tonight as they give up 4 runs in the bottom of the first. Mejia will foul that one off out of the stadium as, once again, we remind you, make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. So Mejia going to step right back in. Way for the Pioneers, get something going. Pioneers have just one hit through 2 innings. The wind and pitch. Cut on, ground at the middle. That's going to get in as Mejia loops around first and will take a look at second, but pull back up. Mejia goes 1 for 2 as that'll bring up Brody Moore. Brody Moore, the freshman over there at Auburn, as I said, had a lot of experience this summer already going to the College World Series with his Auburn Tigers. Went real deep into it too, but now Brody Moore has got to get things going here for the Pioneers. They trail 4-0. Pios do have 2 hits in the game. They also have 2 errors as well. One of those coming on that errant throw from Kester back in the bottom of the second inning. So the windup and the pitch. Cut on, right back through the middle. Hard play there for the second baseman. He makes the grab and double play as once again Brody Moore unable to come through after Jeff Mejia got on base. So Brody, who's had a good summer to this point, starting to slump off a little bit as baseball is a game of cycles. We'll have to see what the Pioneers can do through the rest of this one. We head for the bottom of the third. Pios trailing 4-0.
The always popular Flynn Tractor Race.
All right, so as you hear Dewey Roden heading up, Roden, no official at bat yet, has a base on balls in his first trip. As now the Pioneers will try to keep things going. Kester seemed to calm down in that second inning as he starts off the bottom of the third with a ball, 1-0. As again, Kester looking in. The wind and the pitch. That missed somewhere as the knees buckled on Dewey Roden. Pioneers pitcher Brendan Kester really got off to a rough start here. A 4-run bottom of the first for Utica. That's where it stands right now, 4-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. Kester has now thrown 3 straight balls. So Kester trying to find his zone again, as the Pioneers haven't been able to find much offensively just through the first 3 innings. As Kester misses again, 4 straight balls. Kester shrugging. He is getting visibly upset out there on the mound. Feeling squeezed as Matt Parkinson, who also has no official at bat yet, base on balls. As again, Kester will go back to work here. Kester would love to turn one of those double plays himself here. In the bottom of the third, Pios have a runner, or excuse me, the Blue Sox have a runner as the Pioneers trying to work their way through. That one is bounced up. 1 ball, no strikes. Kester has had his trouble here tonight. As again, Pioneers keep trying to find a way to get things all to click. You heard Matt Birch back in coach's corner say we haven't played a full game. We haven't gotten the starting pitching, the bullpen pitching, and the hitting all to come together at once. And once we do, things are really going to turn around. As that's a strike for Brendan Kester. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Matt Birch still fully confident. This is a very young team. He's been very positive with them, trying to find their way through this season. And to be perfectly frank, they're still fighting for a playoff spot. They have a chance to make the playoffs this season. It's going to be a struggle, but plenty of baseball left, folks. The cut is fouled off there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As off and running on that one was Dewey Roden. Roden on the season. Let's take a look at his stolen base numbers. He has just 1. Hasn't been caught stealing, though. So again, Kester coming right back to the mound. He looks down. Looking back at his shortstop, I'm not sure what the signaling out there was, as now Kester looks in. He comes set. Backs off momentarily, as Moskowitz may have called for time there. So, once again, 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, as Kester looking for the first out of the bottom of the third. Kester comes set, throws over to first, and not in time, as Peng had to reach out to catch that one on the far side of his body. Kester comes back as he looks in. Perhaps it was a throw-over due to that last off and running attempt that was made. As now Kester takes a full half turn to look at the runner on first base. He comes set. Kicks his leg and deals in there for a strike, and Kester earns the punch out. So Parkinson will go down on strikes, as that'll bring up Ryan Enos. Enos, no official at bat, sac fly, earned himself an RBI. So Enos comes back up. As again, he this season batting .254. He's gone 16 for 63 on the season. We'll see what he can do here. Enos, like I said, with just the sac fly for an RBI. The wind and pitch, cut on, and over the head of the third baseman. That's going to get down. Play will be made at the warning track, thrown very quickly back in, but that's going to put runners at second and third as the ball bouncing around out there on Brody Moore. So Enos has his first official at bat, earns himself a double. That'll bring up the number 9 batter as Previsky steps up. Previsky did make the final out of the bottom of the first. So, going to be a tough challenge here for Kester, as now, once again, the bullpen starting to work. Stephen Rossi getting right back up. So, Kester looking in. He's got his infield all the way around. As time is called again, Rossi working to get warm very quickly. as head coach Matt Birch will head back out for the mound. And it's unfortunate for him. He's really been trying to work his way through. Now Matt Birch calling over the second base umpire as well. Not sure what the purpose of this is. However, Kester and Matt Birch addressing something out there with the second base umpire. As you hear the effect. So, Matt Birch still talking with that second base umpire. Now the home plate umpire heading out there. I'm not sure what this is in regards to. Nothing that's been terribly close, but now Birch will head back for the dugout. Moskowitz and Kester will go back to work at the plate. The Elmira Pioneers, again, trailing 4-0 here in the bottom of the third, have one out. The only problem here is you got runners at second and third, so Rossi having to get ready very, very quickly. We'll go over Rossi's numbers should he come into the game. As idealistically for the Pioneers, you want to pop out here as Kester winds and delivers. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 count. Taking a lead as he keeps moving in and out of the base path, as you can see down on the left-hand side of your screen. Coming back set is Kester. Kester winds and delivers. Outside again, 2 balls, no strikes. Kester really getting squeezed here. Been like this pretty much since the get-go. As Kester and the Pioneers, so far just 2 offensive hits. Kester, to his credit, has only given up 3. It's been the walks that have really killed him. As the windup and the pitch. Outside again, 3 balls, no strikes. As Kester trying to work through, he's just not feeling the confidence. And the only way to get the confidence is to keep putting him in there. Kester keeps getting his opportunity in the rotation, but just unable to come through as this one cut on right down towards third, thrown over to first in time, and that will keep the runners right where they are. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. So that's going to bring up Tyler Simon. Simon, who did strike out back in the second inning, but walked in the first.
Tyler Simon.
Pioneers pitcher Kester trying to get through a third inning of work. I got to tell you, he's thrown a lot of pitches here so far. As now, Kester looking in. He comes set out there on the mound. Winds and delivers. Cut on. This one will get foul. As that gets into the bullpen. No balls, 1 strike. As that makes us remind you once again, make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. As now Kester heads back out to the mound. Gets very dark here. Not sure if the sun is just setting or if we've got some inclement weather coming in. Simon now looking. Kester comes set. The wind and the pitch. Taken. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kester having very little room to work on the outside corner. Kester has been trying to pitch outside all game. This umpire having none of it, though, really shrinking that zone. The wind and pitch from Kester. Cut on and fouled back again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So, Kester, 1 strike away from getting out at the bottom of the third inning and stranding the runners on second and third. You see Nathan Berg there playing his second base. He is back on the outfield grass, waiting just in case a ball gets hit oddly, trying to give himself enough time to make the play. As, of course, we talked about the average for Simon, 362. However, that being said, he is a leadoff man. Certainly has the speed to be able to leg out anything that's hit on the ground. So we'll have to see what the Pioneers can do. The pitch comes in, and that will bounce up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A Tioga Downs showdown. We remind you, Tioga Downs not only a great place to play, an amazing place to stay. Check out the brand new Tioga Downs Hotel and Resort. As now Kester comes back set. Relaxes on the mound, winds and deals high, 3 balls, 2 strikes. So a full count one more time here in the bottom of the third inning. Kester, 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. I think either way, this will probably be the last batter Kester will face. Would like to end the third inning. Kester checks on the runners. Comes set, winds and delivers. Cut on. This one popped out to center field. Should be playable. The catch is made, and the Pioneers have retired the batter. They get through the third, holding it at 4-0, and it was not easy. We'll head for the top of the fourth. Pioneers trailing 4-0 here live from Utica. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back. All right, so Preston Moore going to lead things off here for your Elmira Pioneers. Preston as a leadoff batter has been pretty impressive. 18 at-bats as a leadoff hitter, batting .333. Of course, last night he certainly helped himself out there with the home run to lead off the top of the ninth inning against the Geneva Red Wings. It's a 4-0 uphill battle for the Pioneers here as they are into the middle innings. Top of inning number 4, the wind and pitch, cut on, popped up here, heads out to left field. Didn't get all of that one as that will be played and caught. So the Pioneers come up swinging immediately as that's going to bring up Nathan Peng. Peng 0 for 1 as well. Pioneers have really had some trouble getting going here tonight. Would love to get something started as now they've got their 3, 4, 5 hitters up. Obviously, 3 went down on the first pitch as now Nathan Peng will look to work. The wind and the pitch. Inside 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes as Avery Cook dealing through his 4th inning of work here. Scoreboard out there in right field only reflects the 2.5 innings played, but we've 3 full. That is taken again. Did not go. They're looking for the check. 2 balls, no strikes as Nathan Peng. Peng will head back in. Mason Ruhlman standing on deck. As again, Peng waits for the pitch. The wind and deal way outside. 3 balls, no strikes as Avery Cook starting to lose control of the zone. Cook has a 4-0 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. Pioneers gave all those 4 runs up back in the bottom of the first. Peng trying to get on base and hopefully manufacture some runs here as that is taken for ball 4. Nathan Peng on 4 straight pitches will earn himself a free pass. Ruhlman 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the night. Ruhlman comes back up here as it'll be Ruhlman followed by Berg if Ruhlman can avoid the double play here. Mason, one of the better hitters in the lineup, 274, 23 for 81. Ruhlman certainly also known for his power bat. We'll see what he does here. Cut on and missed as he was swinging for the highway out there. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As Ruhlman steps back into the batter's box. Big hole there on the right-hand side. That is where Mason does like to hit. So if he can put something on the ground, that could get him the single. As now the windup and the pitch yet again. Taken for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Downs showdown. As again, a little bit deep down the corners here. As we're trying to get the read. I think it's 335 down each line. Maybe 329 down the right field line. Looks like 335 down the left. As now the windup and the pitch. Cut on by Ruhlman. Deflected back up into the netting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Mason trying to find the sweet spot. Mason recently has had some trouble getting going. But when he's hot, he certainly gets very, very hot. He will be making the trip to the All-Star game as well. He was selected as a second baseman. We've seen him do some pitching too, so always a possibility. As again, Ruhlman looks in. The wind and the pitch. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Mason Ruhlman going to be trying to reach base here. Standing out there on first is Nathan Peng. Peng, so far this season, has 1 stolen base. We'll see if he can take off and get something going. His speed, the throw was off, so Ruhlman strikes out, but Peng moves to second. So Ruhlman strikes out twice. Peng has a stolen, and that'll bring up Nathan Berg. Berg, who's 1 for 1 on the night. Berg does have one of the 2 Pioneers hits, the other one coming from Jeff Mejia. So we'll see what, again, Berg trying to do something here. As Berg looks in, Peng takes his lead off of second base. So the windup and the pitch to Berg. Taken for ball 1, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs as the Pioneers trying to keep things moving here. They've got Peng in scoring position with 2 outs. Pioneers have been very effective with 2-out hitting here in the 2019 season, but need to find a way to come through here. As again, they trail by 4-0 score. That one inside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Pioneers trying to keep it going. As again, Avery Cook trying to push himself through another full inning of work. Nathan Berg wants to extend this inning. As the windup and the pitch. Cut on and missed by Berg. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Only had a lot of drag on that pitch. That one was very slow, shocking Berg. So Berg will head back. He looks in. As Cook has his sign. He's ready. As Berg waits, the lead from second. Peng is jumping, and now we'll get back to second base. Peng does have a stolen base here. He got it in that. You'd think you'd want to test this catcher considerable amount more. As the windup and the pitch, cut on. That one is popped up towards foul territory. Catch is made, and that will do it. For the top of the 4th, Pioneers go down again without being able to manufacture anything. They trail 4-0. We head for the bottom of the 4th inning. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. All right, folks. Stephen Rossi enters the game. 13.97 ERA, 1 win, 1 loss, 7 games pitched in, 9.2 innings pitched, 13 hits, 16 runs, 15 earned, 13 bases on balls, and 8 strikeouts. We'll have to see what Rossi can do here, as he's going to face the Utica Blue Sox, who have been hitting quite well here tonight. They've been getting on and moving people around, whether that be based on hits or based on walks, which I'll tell you, Kester tonight was certainly handing out the walks. It was not the night he was planning on as he rode up here on the bus. Rossi going to have to find a way to get things going for himself, as first man to greet him will be Robbie Young. Young heads to the dish. Young as a leadoff batter, batting just $150. So he's 1 for 1 with a walk and a double here tonight. As we'll see what the Pioneers' new pitcher can do. Stephen Rossi, who has not had a banner year, as he did get the second half of the game in the opener this season, now throws strike number 1. Talked about the ERA. The ERA, the highest on the Pioneers. So we'll hope that can turn things around here. The wind and pitch. Grounded towards first. Played by Peng. Scoops it up. Throws over to Rossi in time. So the first out is made as down goes Robbie Young. Luis De Leon will head for the plate next. Talked about De Leon, the third best batter in the lineup. And just for those of you at home listening, I know you're hearing overhead Luis. I was told by the broadcasters who are actually sitting one table over from me that their announcer gets it wrong, and it is Lewis. So just so you all know, I'm not hearing impaired here up here in the booth. I can definitely hear the loud announcement as Rossi throws ball 1. So another pitch in there, misses again. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 count as Stephen Rossi got the first out fairly easily. We'll be looking to roll right through the bottom of the 4th here. That one cut on, fouled right towards the bullpen, as that will be a 2-ball, 1-strike count now. De Leon looks out as, again, Stephen Rossi comes set. He rocks, winds, and delivers inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. 3-1 count, 4-0 lead for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Blue Sox batted all the way around their order in the bottom of the 1st. The wind and pitch from Rossi, cut on, ground ball, hit towards Parodi Moore, who bobbles, and that will resolve. Making his way down, he goes 0 for 3, and that'll bring up Josh Hatcher. The mistakes are plentiful here, and head coach Matt Birch has got to be shaking his head.
Number 6,
You know Stephen Rossi is going to be disappointed. As now Hatcher 1 for 1, double base on balls and 2 RBIs, as now he's got a runner standing on first base. Stephen Rossi going to be looking for another ground ball, see if they can field it and make it work for them. That one is outside, 1-0. So again, Pioneers have continued to try to work themselves through. They haven't allowed a run since the bottom of the 1st inning. However, the 4th spot that they gave up in the bottom of the 1st still hangs, as the offense hasn't quite got going. Moskowitz tries with a batter in the lineup, Josh Hatcher. Hatcher's double earlier certainly got things going for Utica. So Rossi comes set. He winds and deals. Ground ball picked up there by Peng. He will step on first, take the guaranteed out, throws down to second, and that will not be in time. So they get the first out, and that is about all you can ask for. Make sure you get one. Brenton Phillips will come up.
Number 19, Brenton Phillips.
Phillips batting .270 on the year. He's now going to bat with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. He is batting .313 in 16 at-bats. Has 4 RBIs in this situation. So Phillips steps up. Rossi certainly employing the ground balls, though. That much at least has worked out for the Pioneers here. As Rossi looks in, the wind and the pitch. Cut on and missed. Rossi burns it right by number 19, Brenton Phillips. So Rossi coming back out. Runner on first, runner now on second, reached on an error. The wind and the pitch, taken inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Rossi looks in yet again, waiting for his sign. As Rossi comes back set. Checks the runner back at second. He winds and delivers. Low again. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. As the Pioneers need 1 more out to get out of the bottom of the 4th. Need to get back to hitting. As the next time they come up, it'll be the top of the 5th inning. And after that, that's half running time. This one is popped up towards right field. Gets down. The runner will come in and across home plate from second base. So, a ball that just dropped in on Derigi will mean that the Pioneers now have a bigger lead to catch up to, as it's 5-0.
Hitter number 28.
Dewey Roden comes up next, as Brenton Phillips earns himself an RBI. Roden has yet to have an official at bat. He's walked twice here tonight. Roden on the year, we talked about it earlier, 300 batter. As Rossi winds and delivers, cut on, ground ball towards Berg. Berg scoops it up, throws to first in time, and that will be the first official at bat for Dewey Roden. He goes 0 for 1. So the Pioneers will come back to the plate and hopefully find some offense. They trail 5-0 after Utica adds 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so the back out here. Now it's time to try to get something started. The Pioneers have really run into a brick wall here from the starting pitcher, Avery Cook. It's going to be Brennan Derigi to lead things off. Pioneers have just 2 hits on the night. However, Utica, in just 4 hits, has plated 5 runs. Brennan Derigi heads up to the plate. As Derigi comes up for the second time here tonight, he walked in his first appearance. Derigi comes set. Batting .230 this year. As Derigi working as a leadoff hitter this time. Derigi waits. The windup and the pitch. Outside, 1-0. Derigi batting .143 as a leadoff hitter in 14 opportunities. As now once again, the windup and the pitch from Avery. Low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Derigi will step back up to put a ball in play and hopefully get himself on base. The Pioneers trailing by 5 as the windup and the pitch. Cut, and that'll bring up Bryce Moss, who's 0 for 1. Comes up. He's batting .231 on the year, 12 for 52. His only extra base hit was a double this season. Does have 9 RBIs, but batting towards the bottom part of the order, it certainly has its disadvantages for the Pioneers catcher. Moskowitz steps back in. 5-0 lead for Geneva. Derigi, we've seen the speed out of him before. We'll see if he's going to test out the catcher's arm. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, this one is hit by Moskowitz right to left field. Derigi takes a slow turnaround second as Moskowitz will go 1 for 2 on the day and advance the runner. So, Zach Turner heads up to the plate now, as this is the first time the Pioneers have really showed some offense. 2 hits back-to-back. This has to be what head coach Matt Birch was talking about back in Coach's Corner, needing to start getting things together. Turner, not your typical number 9 hitter. He certainly doesn't have the speed you expect to see out of a number 9 hitter in the PGCBL. He does square to bunt and will draw on the first base man over there. Third baseman is standing back a little bit further, as you would, I guess you would expect Turner to go down to first base anyway with the bunt. As now the third baseman has come in onto the infield grass here on your left-hand side of your screen. The wind and the pitch. The square is pulled back and in there for a strike. As Turner looks down, waiting to see if they're going to keep him trying to lay down the sac bunt. Turner's hitting has not been where he would want it. 0.67 on the season so far. As if Turner could pull something back and get a hit here, that would certainly do some damage. As now the bunt is laid out there. Turner will lay it down, but that fouls off. So no balls, 2 strikes. Turner unable to square that one up. Robbie Young, the first baseman, was literally 2 feet from home plate. I almost wonder if you're Zach Turner, if you don't pull that one back and try to hit it over Young's head. Little surprising. As now Turner looks out. He's no balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runners at first and second, a 5-0 lead for the Utica Blue Sox as the Pioneers try to play catch up. The wind and the pitch. The bunt is gone for again. Surprising there with 2 strikes. It's not something you see often as Turner goes down 0 for 2. Mejia will come up. Mejia's 1 for 2 on the day. So Turner used his at-bat to try to lay down the bunt and was unsuccessful in 3 attempts. So this is going to bring up Mejia. Mejia will be looking to put a ball in play. Mejia may be a better choice for the bunt, in all honesty, to advance runners, because Mejia has beaten out a bunt previously. As the windup and pitch from Avery, outside, 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 count, as again, Jeff Mejia stepping up, looking for a hit. He's got 1 for 2 on the night. Did hit a single a couple innings ago. If he could hit one here, would almost assuredly drive in a run. As the windup and pitch outside, 2 balls, no strikes. As Derigi trying to draw some attention back there at second base. So Mejia will step back in. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. As again, Pioneers trailing 5-0, trying to put a dent in the scoreboard. They weren't able to do it last night until the top of the 9th inning. Certainly trying to advance things here in the top of the 5th. The windup and the pitch. Cut on. Hit over the head of the second baseman. This is going to drive in 1 run at the very. Derigi will come across. Mejia has a double now. So he's had a single, a double, and now an RBI added to his line score. As now Brody Moore comes up with runners at second and third. And the Pioneers now just trailing 5-1. So we'll see what Brody Moore can do here. As you see, as you're looking out on YouTube Live, lots of space in the outfield as now a Utica Blue Sox manager will head out to the mound to have a discussion with his hurler. Avery has certainly been working some magic through the first 4 full innings and now a third of the 5th. So, conversation at the mound as Brody Moore going to be looking to straighten things out for himself. Brody, with runners in scoring position this year, has hit .455 in 11 at-bats, has 5 RBIs. So a very quick mound conference here for the Utica Blue Sox. Probably just to calm it down sort of talk as the Elmira Pioneers getting some offense going here. They still trail by 4. They do get the run back that was given up in the bottom of the 4th inning. As now Brody Moore looks in. The windup and pitch from Avery inside 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. So Cook heads back to the mound. He's certainly moving a lot slower. Now he's got the fidgety hand, as you see. Haven't seen him play with the ball very much until just now, with run Pioneers have come back to haunt them as the Blue Sox have tallied for 5 runs here tonight. The windup and pitch from Cook taken for ball 3. 3 straight balls, and Brody Moore is 1 ball away from loading the bases. So the Pioneers waiting here in the top of the 5th inning. 3 balls, no strikes. Brody Moore, will see if he's taking all the way here. The windup and the pitch. Inside corner as Brody Moore hopped back. He didn't like that one as he will step back in. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As now Cook looks in. He comes set, winds and delivers. That one catches the outside corner. Brody Moore now all the way back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Preston Moore stands on deck. Brody loved to find a way to get a hit. He would take a ball and load the bases. The wind and pitch. Cut on. Out there towards left. The catch will be made. And the fake run home will do it for the 2nd out. As now Preston Moore will come up to the plate. Preston Moore will bat with runners on base and 2 out. In 14 attempts, he's 214. All that Preston Moore needs here is a single, and he could drive in 2 runs. As once again, Moskowitz and Mejia stand on the base paths. 2nd and 3rd, Pioneers possibility to bring it back to within 2 if Preston Moore can get a hit. The wind, the pitch, cut on, ground ball towards the shortstop, scooped up, played there. Moore on his horse and will not make it down to first, and the Pioneers will have to settle for just 1 run here in the top of the 5th inning. So Pioneers close the gap 5-1. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. All right, so with that, the Pioneers have closed the door a little bit, getting themselves a little bit closer as once again, Stephen Rossi will take over on the mound. 5-1, the score here. As first man to greet Rossi is going to be number 22, Matt Parkinson. Parkinson 0 for 1 on the night, walked and struck out. Does have an RBI on his walk. Parkinson as a leadoff batter, however, 250 in 4 attempts, so just 1 for 4 as the leadoff man. See what Parkinson can do here as the leadoff hitter as Rossi goes right back to work. The wind and pitch. In there for a ball, 1-0. So once again, Rossi working from behind. The wind and pitch. Taken 2 balls, no strikes. As again, the Pioneers trying to find their way back into this ball game. They responded from the 1 run that was scored in the bottom of the 4th in the top of the 5th, but still trail by 4. Scooped up by Preston Moore. Over to first. Over and past the first baseman. Scooped up here, and that won't allow for an advance, as that will be another reached on an error. Pioneers have given up quite a few of those here today, as Ryan Enos comes up. Enos coming up with a runner on first, as something smells as if it's on fire here at the home of the Utica Blue Sox. Blue Sox sit in second place here in the West Division, trying to close the gap on the first place Geneva Red Wings, who did beat the Elmira Pioneers last night. The pitch is inside, 1 ball, no strikes, 1-0. 5-1 the lead right now for Utica, as Elmira trying to fight their way back in. We're over halfway through this game now, as the Pioneers trying to close down the hitting right at the third baseman, thrown back over here, and Peng makes the grab. He was on the base, and this is going to bring an argument for sure. Nathan Peng was standing on the base and held on to the ball, and the second base umpire called him safe. Matt Birch will head out and have a conversation. Peng did not come off the base, so Birch is in his right to argue this one. He is not going to be happy about it. Peng stayed on the base, and that's what Birch is arguing right now. So, 1 out, should be 2. Birch making the argument right now. I would think the conversation would have to be just ask somebody to check. Peng did not come off the base. But here we go. 1 out. Perfect play there by Preston Moore.
Aaron Provisky.
As Provisky will come up 0 for 2. Just a missed call out there at second base. As now, Stephen Rossi will go back to work. Rossi still has 1 out. Certainly, the first pitch thrown in. Again, it's thrown down, and that one won't be in time. Moskowitz trying to get that out that the Pioneers firmly believe they should already have. So, Rossi looks back in. 1 ball, no strikes. Only 1 out, as the Pioneers continue to trail 5-1. Rossi comes set. He winds, delivers. The bunt is shown yet again, but pulled back. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0, 1 out, as again, Rossi looking in. The number 9 batter, Aaron Provisky, trying to advance his runner. As again, Rossi comes set. The wind and pitch. Thrown in there for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. So, Stephen Rossi going to go back to work here. It's got to be a rough one for the Pioneers as they're trying to get something to break their way, looking for any type of positive to hold up and say, hey, we got this. Let's get it going now. As Rossi winds and deals. Cut on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As apparently that one was actually fouled off. Hits the umpire right in the mask. He appears to be okay as he'll take a brief walk. Appeared as though it went right by Provisky, maybe a little bit high. So Moskowitz took a walk out to the mound trying to make sure that the umpire had enough time to recuperate. As now Rossi will head back to the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Only the 1 out here. As Moskowitz returns. Says something to the home plate umpire, probably checking to make sure he's okay. As Rossi comes back to the mound. He looks in. Comes set. Winds and delivers. Cut on. Hits Rossi in the foot. That one will bounce. And again, that will be in there for a hit. as that will be the 5th hit of the game. Rossi is okay, but now with runners on first and second,
The shortstop,
Kavoski
number
has
2,
his first hit of the game.
Tyler Simon.
Tyler Simon 0 for 2. The only time he's reached tonight has been on a base on balls. Back out here. Ross going to be looking for a ground ball. Couldn't avoid the last one. That one would have been a perfect play for Nathan Berg if that one had gotten through. However, hits off Rossi, and that runner's on first and second now. The first pitch is in there for a ball outside. 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out here as the Pioneers trying to make their way through the bottom of the 5th inning. Rossi working his second inning of work here. Stephen Rossi winds and delivers. Taken for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Down showdown. So we remind you, Tioga Down is not just a great place to play, a great place to eat. Check out the wonderful buffet any day of the week. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Rossi going back to work here. The wind and the pitch. Runner is off and going. Both runners off and going as that was ball 2, bounced away from the catcher and no chance to get anyone. So now runners stand at second and third, and this has been a situation both sides have seen here tonight. As now Rossi looks in. He waits. Rossi coming back yet again. He winds and delivers. Low again, 3 balls, 1 strike. Stephen Rossi certainly feeling the pressure here. Pioneers, obviously 9 players out in the field, but they're all huddled together. There's only about 3 or 4 of them standing up on the bench, up on the bar, separating the bench from the field. That's in there for a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As again, trying to work through the top of the order, Tyler Simon. Simon 0 for 2, base on balls, a strikeout here tonight. Rossi working out of the stretch one more time. The wind and the pitch. Bounced up there. That'll be ball 4, and that'll be a second walk on the night. So, Robbie Young will be the next man up. Bases are now loaded.
The first baseman, number 25,
And Young
Robbie
is 1 for 2.
Young.
He's doubled. He's got a base on balls. He's stolen a base. Nobody warming for the Pioneers, so it's going to be Robbie Young against Stephen Rossi. Just 1 out. As, we'll take it for what it is. That is the situation, whether you agree or disagree. It looks pretty cut and dry to my eye, but again, that runner that probably should be out right now, standing on third base. As now, runners stand on first, second, and third. The bases are loaded. Rossi comes set. He winds, delivers. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 count for Stephen Rossi. As again, Robbie Young, the number 2 batter in the lineup. The best hitter on the team with that .380 batting average. As Rossi comes set, he winds and delivers. Cut on, ground ball here. Berg scoops. No, he misplays it. That'll score 1. A second run coming around and throw down to third. That will get an out. So that will be the second out, and throw back over to first is not in time. So scoring position is taken out of the equation. 2 runs come across, however, as Robbie Young will reach on an error. Going 1 for 3.
29, Luis De Leon.
And earning 2 RBIs to his credit. Luis De Leon, 0 for 3. He reached on an error and now has just the runner standing at first. So I'll tell you what, it's been a rough outing for Stephen Rossi. He's given up 3 runs in 2 innings of relief. The throw over not going to be in time. 7-1 lead in favor of the Utica Blue Sox. The Elmira Pioneers scoring just 1 run, and that came back in the top of the 5th. The next one hit down towards third base. Preston Moore picks up, throws to Nathan Pang, catches, and in time, that will do it. So had to get an extra out, but the Pioneers will head to the top of the 6th inning, trailing 7-1. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so as we come back here, the Elmira Pioneers will go back up to the plate, and they're going to have to try to find some offense. It has been rough as Nathan Pang, who had the auspicious feature as he was holding on to a ball at first base and didn't get the out. That out then would come around to score, adding on the 6th and 7th runs in the bottom of the 5th. The Pioneers now have a 6-run deficit to come back from. Nathan Pang waits. The pitch taken for a strike. 0-1. Pang is the leadoff hitter, batting 143 in 7 attempts. Pang comes back up. The wind and the pitch. Cut on and missed by Pang. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the 6th inning. Pioneers down to their final 12 offensive outs to try to get themselves back into this one. Pang looking in as the windup and the pitch once again. Cut on, hit out towards left field. That's going to. Pang has earned himself a single. So Pang will stand on first base now. He goes 1 for 2. Second time he's reached base here tonight. Roman comes up 0 for 2. He's had 2 strikeouts on the night. Not the start Mason would have wanted, that's for sure, as Berg stands on deck. Roman 0 for 2. He's got 2 strikeouts and will look to try to put something in play, obviously, with Pang standing on first base. Coming back set, Avery Cook. He winds and delivers. Taken for a strike, Ruhlman. Seeing that outside pitch, he's not liking it. He's trying to take it for a ball, but it is just catching that outside corner. Avery Cook has had a heck of a start here, only allowing 6 hits and 1 run for the Pioneers. Cut on, popped up. This one going back. This should get out of play, and it will, as that will be no balls, 2 strikes. Mason Ruhlman now with just 1 more strike to play with here. Ruhlman going to be looking to try to put something in play. Unfortunately, everything he's managed to put the bat on has gone into foul territory. So Ruhlman looks out. Pang takes his lead off first. Pang, as I said, not normally one to be known for stealing. As the windup and the pitch taken on the outside, as that'll be the first ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Avery Cook trying to work his way through a 6th inning of work. Gave up to Pang. As Mason Ruhlman hoping he'll give up another one. Pioneers have been great about responding. They responded in the top of the 5th. Got the 1 run back from the bottom of the 4th. Now they need 2 runs here in the top of the 6th to get the 2 back from the bottom of the 5th. This one going back again and will bounce away. 1 ball, 2 strikes, as Ruhlman trying to keep his at-bat going. Mason Ruhlman, again, will be headed to the All-Star game on Tuesday up in Saugerties. Have to see how he does up there. He'll be joined by Noah Rubino as well as Brody Moore. And the next batter to come up, Nathan Berg. So the windup and the pitch from Cook. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 as Pang stands on first. There is some movement down there in the Pioneers bullpen. Trying to get a read on who that was. Didn't get a really good look. And the pitch coming here from Cook. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Ruhlman takes and cut that one, fouled that one away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 more time. As down there in the Pioneers bullpen, I believe that's Kester just trying to work himself out. So he definitely will not be re-entering the game, as I believe he's just trying to get his arm worked out and trying to gain some confidence down there in the Pios bullpen. As working again, Avery Cook, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first, the wind and the pitch. High, 3 balls, 2 strikes. As Mason Ruhlman has worked it back to a full count.
You can do it!
So, Ruhlman looks out. He waits. Standing from the left-hand side of the box. Certainly going to be a difficult one for the Pioneers batters, as Avery Cook has certainly worked very quickly and effectively through the first 6. The wind and pitch cut on by Ruhlman and missed. hat trick of strikeouts for Mason Ruhlman as he goes 0 for 3. That's going to be Nathan Berg to the plate, 1 for 2. As Berg steps back in. He'll bat from the right-hand side. Ruhlman
Second baseman number 6, Nathan
heads back to the dugout, and he's got to be frustrated. Designated hitting tonight, 0 for 3 and 3 strikeouts. As now Berg comes up, 1 for 2. Peng still standing on first base. As Berg will be looking to make contact. That is right down the gut. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Berg looks for a sign from his third base coach and manager. So Cook trying to work his way back through the inning here. Top of the 6th as we head in for the final 11 outs, 11 offensive outs for the Pioneers. 0-2 count now. Peng still standing on first base, hasn't been able to move as of yet. So Nathan Berg steps back up to the plate, looking for a hit, just trying to keep things moving. As again, the wind and the pitch from Cook, cut on and missed by Berg. He will strike out as well, as that's going to bring up Brennan Derigi. Derigi, 1 for 1 and a walk on the night.
23, Brennan Derigi.
Derigi, who had a home run a couple of nights ago. Certainly not what he's going to be looking for here, but he wants to get a hit and get the Pioneers to keep the inning moving. Still has Peng standing on first base. As once again, coming set is Brennan Derigi. Avery Cook looks in. He will wind and deliver. Cut on and missed by Derigi. Derigi saw the first pitch to the last 2 batters right down the gut, as he didn't want to waste any time. Derigi heads back into the batter's box. Looks out. As Avery Cook coming set. Cook winds and deals. Cut on and missed by Derigi. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs here. As Derigi, trying to keep the inning going, has had 2 healthy cuts. Looking for that hit. Peng made it to first as the leadoff batter hasn't been able to move since. As now coming set, the wind and the pitch from Cook. Cut on, fouled back, and that one will get over us here. So once again, we remind you, decision insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. Brennan Derigi heads back for the plate. He looks out. Avery Cook trying to finish off the 6th inning of work for the home pitcher. Cook comes set. Looks in. He winds and delivers way outside. Derigi not fooled. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 6th inning, top of the 6th inning. Wouldn't be a Pioneers broadcast until I drop my pen, which has now officially happened. So once again, the Pioneers trying to put someone on base. Since the leadoff batter, they were unsuccessful. Derigi cuts on one, hits it out towards left. Catch is made, and that will do it for the top of the 6th inning. The Elmira Pioneers go down after getting the initial leadoff man on. They go down in straight order. The Pioneers are now going to keep looking. They've got 9 offensive outs remaining. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, folks. Well, like an episode of Big Brother, expect the unexpected when the Pioneers go to work. Trevor Henneman will go to the mound now. The usual catcher takes his spot out on the pitching mound. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't have a ton of statistics here on Henneman as a pitcher, but clearly looks comfortable out there.
We have a PGCBL scoring update.
So the wind and pitch from Henneman. Working things around.
So the Newark Pilots 4-1 in the 5th inning.
So Geneva losing to Newark right now.
Utica win tonight means that Utica will tie for first in the West Division. With
As now again,
tomorrow night.
Henneman going to be trying to work a couple innings of relief here. As again, the Pioneers have just had some trouble scoring. Again, they trail 7-1 here tonight. Second night in a row that would be a score. Hopefully they'll be able to make some changes in the final 9 offensive outs they have. Henneman continues to throw out there. As I said, not something we're used to seeing, but expecting the unexpected, and Trevor Henneman throwing is certainly that. You see the fastball certainly working. You could hear the pop from all the way up here, back where I'm standing. That's going to bring up Josh Hatcher. Hatcher 1 for 2, has a double, a base on balls, a couple RBIs. As Henneman will face his first batter of the summer. So, Trevor Henneman looking in. As there is someone warming up down in the bullpen yet again. We'll see how long Henneman has. That one fouled off. 0-1. Trying to get a look down at the bullpen. I can't quite get a read on that number as someone's stretching out. The windup again coming here. And the pitch from Henneman. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Still trying to get a look down at that bullpen in between pitches. As not seeing a ton of movement out there. Not quite tall enough to be Chase Austin. That one cut on right out there to left center. That's going to get down. So Henneman comes in, gives up a hit that rolls all the way to the warning track. Scooped up and a double. The second of the night for Josh Hatcher. As he goes 2 for 3. Has his second double of the night. And that'll bring up Brenton Phillips. Phillips 1 for 3. Reached on an error. Does have an RBI. As Henneman will go back to work. Phillips out there on the mound. That last pitch threw out into the outfield. That may be Trey Harmon down there warming up as that one's fouled away. Back in towards the stands and into the booth where the announcer speaks. That one gets an applause as he holds the ball out there. So no balls, 1 strike. 0-1 the count. As again, Henneman looks in, the wind and pitch. Fouled off, no balls, 2 strikes. Trevor Henneman working quickly here as the Elmira Pioneers trying to make their way through the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing 7-1. Henneman looking out. Checks the runner at second, winds and delivers. High and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So one more time here. Henneman looking. Checks the runner back at second. Now he winds and fires. That one right across in there for a strike, and that will be a strikeout for Trevor Henneman. 2 foul balls and a strike. That's a strikeout. As that will do it. So the strikeout registered now. As that'll bring up Dewey Roden. Roden 0 for 1. 2 bases on balls. As wasn't sure what was taking so long there. Henneman earns the first strikeout of the summer. As again, not sure what the discussion is here. So the home plate umpire will head back to home. Moskowitz will get down into position. Dewey Roden, who so far on the night, 0 for 1, 2 bases on balls, and the Pioneers trying to keep that runner at second right where he stands. The windup in the pitch, runners off and going, thrown down by Moskowitz, and in time he gets the run, as that will be a caught stealing. So possibly a make good call there from that missed one over at first base. As now Henneman now has 2 outs as he tries to get through this one here. Roden cuts on one, fouls it off. As ball and a strike. So 1-1, the count at the moment. 2 outs. Henneman comes set. He winds and deals. In there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Henneman 1 strike away from getting out of this bottom of the 6th inning. As again, Henneman comes back set. He looks, begins to wind and deals. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A Tioga Down showdown. As once again, we remind you, for the best slots and table games, check out Tioga Downs Casino and Resort. Henneman rocks, he winds and delivers. Cut on, ground ball there. Berg has the read, it gets through his legs as that hit the lip and certainly didn't have a play on that one. So, reaching on an error once again will be Dewey Roden. That'll bring up Matt Parkinson. Parkinson 0 for 2, walked, struck out, reached on an error, has an RBI. So, Henneman just trying to make it through the bottom of the 6th inning. He's got 2 outs, runner on first. The wind and the pitch, cut on and fouled back. 1 ball, or no balls, 1 strike. Moskowitz throws it back down to his fellow Trevor Henneman. Henneman has not had a ton of opportunities back behind the dish as of late, as he has played out in the field a little bit more. Matt Birch has talked about it, wants to try to get Trevor some more experience out in the infield. As Henneman comes back to the mound. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Trying to get it by Matt Parkinson. So catcher at the plate. There's 3 of them between the pitcher's mound and the home plate area. As that one's high, 2 balls, 1 strike. So Trevor Henneman trying to work his way out of a full inning here. As again, I believe that's Trey Harmon working down in the bullpen area. We'll have to wait and see. Harmon headed for the All-Star game as a home run derby participant. Coming set, Henneman winds and deals, popped up and foul. That one will get out of play. We remind you again to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Autoglass. So, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a Tioga Down showdown one more time. Stepping back in, Matt Parkinson trying to keep the inning going. Trevor Henneman trying to get through his first full inning of work of the summer. The wind and the pitch hits him, and Parkinson will go down to first.
Hey, man, that's not cool.
So, hit by a pitch now, and that'll bring up Ryan Enos. Enos 1 for 2, sac fly, double, and an RBI. So, runners at first and second. As the Elmira Pioneers trailing 7-1, bottom of the 6th, 2 outs, and Henneman has had 2 opportunities to close it out. Just has not been able to get it done. A ground ball towards Nathan Berg that got through his legs, and then a hit by pitch after a 2 ball, 2 strike, 2 out count. Henneman going right back to work here. Henneman sets out on the mound. 1 ball, no strikes here with 2 outs, working against the number 8 batter, cut on, ground ball here, picked up by Brody Moore, steps on second, and that will end the inning. After 6 complete, the Pioneers trail 7-1. They head back for the batter's box next. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so a brand new pitcher for the Pioneers. Opposition here tonight as Utica will bring in another pitcher here, and the Pioneers have got to be breathing a sigh of relief. They did not have a good time against the starter Avery Cook, who right now would be in line for the win. Michael McCulley, 4.89 ERA, 3 wins, 1 loss, 7 games played, 4 games started, 35 innings pitched, 43 hits, 20 runs, 19 earned, 7 bases on balls, and 32 strikeouts. So certainly it doesn't get any easier here as Moskowitz will head up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Moskowitz trying to get something started for the Pioneers as they trail by 6 runs here in the top of the 7th inning. Wine and pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Utica's just got to be looking to blaze through the next 9 outs and move on and start thinking about Geneva. The Pioneers have to find some semblance of offense. Even if they can't come all the way back, they've got to get some confidence. They've had 6 hits here tonight. The bounces here have been a little crazy. I'm sure the boys will be talking about that on the bus back home. That one connected on right through the gap, and Moskowitz will reach after 2 strikes. So Moskowitz will go 2 for 3, 2 singles on the night, as that'll bring up Zach Turner. Turner, who's come in tonight and played left field, 0 for 2 on the night. Turner was bunting on all 3 pitches in his last at bat. Coming back set. Turner looks. McCulley with a interesting stance out of the stretch. Turner swinging and fouling one off. No balls, 1 strike. As standing down at first, Bryce Moskowitz. Moskowitz leads off the inning right. This is a 2nd straight inning the Pioneers have gotten the leadoff man on base. Last inning they had no success with it, however, as hopefully they can reverse that here. The line and pitch from McCulley. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Turner trying to find a hit here. He has certainly been hard up for making hits. As the wind and pitch inside, as Turner had to turn his back there. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 count. Now starting to see some movement down in that Utica bullpen. As coming back set. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Turner looking out, the wind and pitch. Cut on and missed, as Turner could not find that one. So, Turner, 2 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner standing on first. We'll see what they have Moskowitz doing here. As Moskowitz waits, the wind and the pitch. Taken high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Zach Turner trying to work himself on base. Trying to almost will himself on base at this point. As the wind and the pitch cut on. Ground ball towards first. The play will be made easily, but that will advance Moskowitz to second base. So Turner is out, but the runner moves along, and now Jeff Mejia, who's 2 for 3 on the night, will be the next man up. Moskowitz would love to see Mejia put a ball in play, as Moskowitz now stands in scoring position. 7-1 lead for the Utica Blue Sox, as Mejia looks out. Mejia waiting. The wind and the pitch. Outside, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. As once again, still warming down in that bullpen. I still haven't gotten a full fleshed out number on the jersey. Cut on and missed by Mejia. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out there. First Tioga Down showdown of the inning. Mike McCulley. You'll watch the windup here as he moves in, working from the stretch. He almost goes spider-like, as that one is cut on and fouled away. That will get out of play and out of the park, as once again, we remind you to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber collision. So McCulley stands on the mound, as again, Mejia trying to put a ball in play. The wind and the pitch cut on and fouled back again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McCulley sets himself on the mound. Moskowitz stands at second base. Mejia waiting. McCulley comes set. Winds and delivers. Cut on and missed by Mejia. And he will strike out as he goes 2 for 4 on the evening. That's going to bring up Brody Moore. Brody Moore, who's gone 0 for 3 on the night. Looking for some way to get on base. Brody has 5 RBIs on the season, has only been with the team for 11 games. As Brody is looking to try to get his team moving here. Preston Moore stands on deck. Brody Moore waits. The pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0. So Moore waiting. As again, the windup and the pitch. Cut on right back up the middle. Bounces weird off the first bounce, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. Brody Moore will ground out as McCulley works his way through the top of the 7th inning. 7-1. The Pioneers continue to trail, down to 6 offensive outs remaining. Got to get through the bottom of the 7th. Your Pioneers are trailing 7-1. All right, well, Trey Harmon heads out to the mound now. We've seen Harmon a couple of times this season. Trey, 8.10 ERA, has a loss on his record, 3 games he's appeared in, pitched 3.1 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 6 bases on balls, and 4 strikeouts. Harmon, not only an all-star, he will be the Pioneers home run derby representative on Tuesday. So, Harmon continues to move things around out there. He would really love to get a 1-2-3 inning here as the Pioneers need to get back up to the plate and start batting. Of course, the biggest part of that is they need to get going with the batting. They've had some trouble with that so far as they have had 7 hits but only 1 run. The production has just not been there for the Pioneers. As once again, bottom of the order to start things off. To start it off here, Harmon, number 4 first base prospect in the country out of University of Kentucky. The pitch in there for a strike, going 1. No balls, 1 strike as Trey Harmon going to work. Couple of pitchers working out there in the Pioneers bullpen. The wind and the pitch. Taken for a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count. As Harmon gets set. He looks in. Harmon will wind and deliver. Taken for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Harmon looking out there. He got that first strike call, but since then, the next 2 pitches went for balls. Throws. Cuts on, fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one was a bit inside, but the check swing there got Harmon to get back even in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Harmon comes set. He looks out. Harmon starts his windup and delivers high and outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Pioneers out hitting Utica here tonight, 7-6, but the 6 errors on the board certainly explain the difference. 6-1 in the error department. 6 going the way of the Pioneers, as that is ball 4 from Trey Harmon. He walks the first batter he faces as Aaron Pravisky heads down to first base. Tyler Simon. So, Simon steps back up. Trey Harmon will have to work out of the stretch now. As I said, a couple of players working down in the bullpen. We'll have to see how short of a leash Trey Harmon is on. As the windup and the pitch from Harmon, high and over the head of Simon. 1 ball, no strike. And I'll tell you what, Moskowitz showing the jumps there here behind home plate. I want to thank everybody once again for tuning in here on Mixlr.com and live on YouTube Live. Pioneers will be back at home tomorrow afternoon, 4:05 start. The wind and pitch from Harmon, high, 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 count as Trey Harmon struggling to make his pitches. As again, Harmon comes back set. He will wind and deliver. Cut on. Grabbed by Burke. Thrown back to first in time, as that will be the double play. 2 quick outs there on 1 swing of the bat. So 0 for 3, a double play there, as Robbie Young will be the next one to the plate as he's trying to execute something on Trey Harmon. As again, the Elmira Pioneers trying to get back up to the plate. They trail by 6 runs here tonight. The line and pitch chopped on down the first baseline. That'll get foul as Harmon will pick it up. No balls, 1 strike. As again, Trey Harmon trying to work himself through the bottom of the 7th. Trevor Henneman worked his first inning back in the bottom of the 6th. Got through it without any damage. As Harmon looks out. He waits. Now the wind and the pitch from Harmon in there for a strike. So Trey Harmon now has the count 0-2 in his favor. Harmon looks in. Has the sign. Rocks back, winds and delivers. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As again, Trey Harmon trying to work his way through the inning. Trey looks in, shuffles and deals. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A Tioga Down showdown. As Trey Harmon from Kentucky looking for that put away pitch. That has been the trouble for the Pioneers here this season. The windup and pitch from Harmon popped up. This should be playable. Preston Moore backing up. Brody Moore coming over. Preston drops the ball. And that will be another reach on an error for the Elmira Pioneers outfield. So that's rough. Second reach on error for Robbie Young. Luis De Leon will be the next man up. Tell you what, he's 0 for 4 on the day. He reached on an error. Preston Moore has got to be frustrated out there. So the windup and the pitch from Harmon inside 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes as Harmon again. The Pioneers line 1 run, 7 hits, 7 errors. As Utica's line 7 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. The wind and pitch from Trey Harmon cut on and fouled away. That will head back out towards that old field house. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs as the Pioneers pitcher trying to make his way through the bottom of the 7th inning. Pioneers still have 2 more at-bats that they can come up. They'll need to find a way to not only get hits, but to drive runs in. They have not been able to do that here tonight. The pitch is low, 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs as Trey Harmon continues to battle. Harmon checks the runner over at first. Now Harmon comes set. He winds and delivers. Popped up. This one should be playable. No, it's going to hit the top of the roof as Moskowitz looked as though he had it. And then the ball just veered off and hit the roof and slid off the side here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tioga Down showdown one more time as Trey Harmon hopes to put another out up there. Should probably be sitting in the dugout already. Unfortunately, Preston Moore dropped the ball. The wind and the pitch in there and strikes him out. So Trey Harmon gets the call, and the Pioneers will head back to the plate for the top of the 8th inning. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. The Pioneers trailing 7-1 as they come up looking for redemption. All right, Austin Mercado heads out to the mound, and the Pioneers will have another new pitcher to face, this time with less statistics to talk about. His first appearance since coming to Utica. As leading things off is going to be Preston Moore. Preston be looking to make up for that error he made in the field out there. The 7th of the game for the Pioneers. I'll tell you what, the more concerning part for the Elmira Pioneers has just been the prevalence of error after error after error. 4 runs were scored back in the first inning. Since then, in the bottom of the 4th inning, they allowed 1. In the bottom of the 5th, they allowed 2. They responded in the top of the 5th with 1, but have been unable to answer back with those 2 runs back in the bottom of the 5th. And I got to tell you, some debate about the way that went down. The out that should have taken place on first base could have killed momentum, and it would have been a completely different story, but we'd be in a 5-1 ball game, or possibly a lot closer. Pioneers, though the situation is 7-1, the next pitch is outside 1-0. So the first opportunity for Mercado as he's trying to work through the Pioneers' top of the 8th. The pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Preston Moore. Moore, who hit a very long fly ball last night over the Geneva Red Wings outfield wall. This one, ground ball here towards the second baseman, hops right over, and a very quick out, number 1, here in the top of the 8th inning. The Pioneers running out of outs, as Nathan Peng will be the next man up. He's 1 for 2, base on balls, and a stolen base. Nathan Peng comes up. He's from UC Davis. As Peng looks out. The windup and the pitch from Mercado. Cut on by Peng, right towards the third baseman. A quick pick up and throw over, and that will be in time. Austin Mercado comes in and gets 2 outs very, very quickly. As Mason Ruhlman, he's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
Everyone's going home with a coupon for a free taco, courtesy of Taco Bell.
So,
Make sure to pick it up on your way out to the ballpark tonight.
Ruhlman heads back to the plate. He's 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts, trying to avoid the goal there towards center right, and that will get down as Ruhlman breaks the 0 for. Ruhlman will go 1 for 4. And that will bring up Nathan Berg. Berg, who's 1 for 3 on the day.
Second baseman number 6, Nathan Berg.
He comes back up. Berg will be looking for his opportunity to do something here. The Pioneers have been most effective when they have 2 outs this season. And right now they're down to their final 4 on the night. As Berg looks out. The windup and the pitch from Mercado. Cut on and fouled back. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs as Ruhlman stands on second. I'm fairly certain, I can speak with authority, that you won't see Ruhlman heading for second base. Despite the inaccuracy of the catcher, Ruhlman, I don't think, would consider himself a base stealer. As now the wind and the pitch. Cut on, driven out there towards right field. That is going to get down. Ruhlman comes around and heads for third. Berg is heading for second. He's coming with speed, and he will make it in time. So Berg will double. Ruhlman stands on third. And now the Pioneers have 2 runners in scoring position for Brennan Derigi. Derigi, 1 for 2. He comes up, trying to get something going here. Does have a base on balls, does Derigi. As now Mercado trying to work out of some trouble here. He got 2 outs very quickly. Now the Pioneers have 2 runners in scoring position. So Derigi steps back into the plate. Steps back up to the plate, excuse me. As coming set, Mercado winds and delivers. Taken for strike 1 right down the gut. As Mercado steps back on the mound. 7-1 lead for the Utica Blue Sox. As Elmira trying to fight their way back into it. The wind and the pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. As again, Mercado trying to get out of the top of the 8th inning. The Pioneers trying to cut the deficit as it's a 7-1 lead for Utica right now. Mercado comes set. The wind and the pitch. Cut on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As again, the Pioneers down to their final strike in an inning. They have tallied just 1 run that came back in the 5th inning. So Derigi looks out. Derigi comes set. Mercado winds, delivers, up, headed out there. The trip by the shortstop allows the runner to come home. A second run coming around, and that will score 2. Derigi will stand on first, and the Pioneers have closed the gap 7-3.
The catcher number 14, Bryce Moskowitz.
So the shortstop, Tyler Simon, got caught up there on the outfield grass, and now Moskowitz will have a chance to bat here in the top of the 8th. 7-3 lead for the Utica Blue Sox as the Pioneers close the gap to 4. Moskowitz looking. He waits. As now, Mercado winds and delivers. Taken inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Waiting on deck is Zach Turner, the number 9 hitter. So if the out is made here, we'd have 9-1-2 in the top of the 9th as the Pioneers try to keep things going and try to get back into this game. Moskowitz right now at the plate, 1-1, 2 outs, as he would love to put a ball in play, get on base, and bring Turner up here in the top of the 8th, possibly with a chance to drive in some more runs. Pioneers have 2 runs here in this inning already. The wind and the pitch, cut on. Moskowitz hits that one. It's going to be caught by the center fielder, and the Pioneers will head to the bottom of the 8th, trailing 7-3. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so the unique pitchers continue to roll. Andrew Sexton comes out as he will come into the game here. So we'll see what Sexton can do here in the bottom of the 8th inning. I believe we may have a new catcher too, as Craig Corliss enters the game to catch. As Craig Corliss enters the game at catcher, and Andrew Sexton takes to the mound.
Right fielder, number 6, Josh Hatcher.
This will bring up Josh Hatcher. Hatcher comes out to the plate. We'll see if that means Zach Turner won't bat in the top of the 9th inning. So now the wind and pitch from Sexton. Outside, 1-0. As I said, Sexton, no real record as a pitcher for the Pioneers to this point in the summer. So he's working in his first inning here, fouled off, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count here. As again, the Elmira Pioneers really experimenting here tonight with a 7-3 deficit. We'll see what they're going to do in the top of the ninth. Not sure if Turner is going to see the at bat or not. Always interesting to see how Matt Birch will juggle things, as the Pioneers trailing by just 4 runs. So Sexton lines and deals. Really inside and high. 2 balls, 1 strike. As the Pioneers want to just get through this bottom of the 8th inning, not allow any runs, and go back up to the plate. Riding a little momentum there after 2 runs came across in the last half inning. That one off the pole back behind home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 2-2. Nobody out. As again, 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Andrew Sexton looking for his first out of the bottom of the 8th inning. Pioneers trailing by a 4 spot. Going to have a lot of work to do, but 9-1-2 will be the spots due up for the top of the 9th inning. Sexton winds and over the head of Craig Corliss. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As now Sexton will go right back to work. Sexton out of Xavier University. He waits. Looking in for a sign. He's got it. Winds and delivers way inside. That'll be ball 4. And not the way to start. Second walk of the inning, or second walk of the night, for Josh Hatcher. Brenton Phillips will be the next man up. 1 for 4, reached on an error, struck out, has an RBI. As Phillips comes up. Phillips coming set. He waits. The wind and pitch from Sexton. Cut on and fouled off. No balls, 1 strike. As again, the Elmira Pioneers trying to find their way to the top of the 9th inning, trailing just by 4 runs, do have 10 hits tonight. So the offense, it just hasn't been consecutive. It's been a hit here, a hit there. Next pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody up in the bullpen, so Sexton going to work the full bottom of the 8th. It is conceivable, of course, that Sexton could move around into the outfield. Berg could potentially come in from second base and pitch. That one's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. As again, nobody warming down in that Utica bullpen either, so we assume we'll see Mercado once again for the top of the 9th inning. The wind and pitch from Sexton. High, 3 balls, 1 strike. You have to imagine Sexton not wanting to give up the second straight base on balls. Pioneers just trying to get through the bottom of the 8th. Cut on, popped up here. Running over is Preston Moore. That's going to get way out of play. As we remind you once again, make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. It's a 7-3 ball game as the Elmira Pioneers trying to buy their way back into it here as Sexton. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He has to find a way to put it in the strike zone. Sexton winds and delivers. High, 4 balls for the second right back. So another base on balls, as that's going to bring up Dewey Roden. Roden heads up. More conversation out there in the field. As now the shortstop and the pitcher talking it out. And now we're starting to see some movement down in that Pioneers bullpen. Can't get a great look at who's starting to stretch out over there, but Sexton gets his look at it as well. He looks straight down at that Pios bullpen. Runners on first and second. The next pitch in there for a strike. So a first pitch strike, as I'm still not able to get a good look at who's warming up down in the bullpen. Very hard to see from my angle up here, as Sexton throws again. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. That could be Alex Bardo based on the body style. That is going to be Bardo warming up. So we'll see if he comes in. He pitched a few innings the other day, certainly has the gumption to go again. That one's going to get out of the stadium. So once again, we remind you, make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. So Sexton, 1 ball, 2 strikes. As the Pioneers trying to get out of the bottom of the 8th inning. No outs to this point. As coming back set. Sexton winds, delivers, fouled off yet again, right back in to the screen behind home plate. So Sexton comes back up. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. As Andrew Sexton comes set on the mound, working out of the stretch yet again. The wind and the pitch just missed inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As the Pioneers hungry to get back in and start batting again. That's why you see Alex Bardo up in the pen. Should this batter go south, you would assume Bardo would come in. This one fouled off yet again. 2 balls, 2 strikes one more time. As again, 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Andrew Sexton waiting for his next opportunity to throw a pitch. Dewey Roden trying to get on base again. He would love to see something he could hit and bring in a couple runs here. The wind and pitch struck out Dewey Roden as Sexton earns the first out of the bottom of the 8th. So, Roden will strike out. That's going to bring up Matt Parkinson. Parkinson 0 for 2. Base on balls, struck out, reached on an error, and has an RBI. Parkinson steps back up. So a ground ball double play would be in Sexton's best interest here. Get himself out of the inning on 1 pitch. As that's in there for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike as Bardo continues to work down in the bullpen. Sexton looks in, 2 men on, first and second. Andrew Sexton winds and deals, cut on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes. So Sexton has certainly found the zone now. It took him a couple batters, but he is dealing. Again, Sexton looking in, waiting for the sign as Craig Corliss, for the first time here in a Pioneers uniform this season, stands behind home plate. The wind and the pitch, high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So again, Corliss, easy to distinguish due to the neon green helmet, somewhat reminding you of Enforcer colors. Which we want to remind you, Enforcer season tickets are on sale now. The wind and pitch, cut on and fouled away. That will be a strikeout. So Sexton walks 2 batters. Now he's struck out 2.
The third baseman, number 10.
As that's going to bring up Ryan Enos. As I was saying, Enforcers tickets are on sale now. Get your season tickets before it's too late. 607-734-PUCK. Don't miss your opportunity to see the Elmira Enforcers in their 2nd season. The windup and pitch from Sexton outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0. As once again, Sexton will go back to work here. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. As the wind and the pitch, cut on. That's going to get down in the outfield. This is going to score another run as the Pioneers trying to catch the man running around first base. But a run will come around to score again. 8-3 is the lead now. So 8-3 as the Pioneers have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Runners stand at the corners. As Enos goes 2 for 4. It's his 2nd RBI of the day. And Aaron Pravisky, who's 1 for 3, has a base on balls, will now face Sexton. Bardo is sitting down now as Sexton will apparently have the inning. The throw is not going to be made. So the scoreboard now reads 2 balls, no strikes. I'm not sure how that happened. That was, I believe, the first pitch. There we go. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 the count. As again, the wind and pitch from Sexton outside. Now it's 2 balls, no strikes. Sexton having some trouble as looking back out there, Craig Corliss trying to find his way through the bottom of the 8th. Pios have given up a run, 8-3 the score now. The wind and the pitch cut on. This one is popped up. Going back into the outfield, sliding and making the grab is the Pioneers right fielder. So a great stop there by Brennan DeRigi. And the Pioneers will come up for the top of the 9th inning. 9-1-2 due up. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so Dewey Roden comes in to pitch the top of the 9th inning. Surprisingly, Zach Turner will come out. Turner will be the first batter, as Turner has not had any success tonight. 9-1-2 due up. Mejia getting ready over there. Runs, no bases on balls. He's gotten 3 strikeouts in that 1 inning of work. So certainly intimidating for Pioneer batters, as Turner fouls one off. 1 ball, 1 strike. As again, I don't think the scoreboard has that one right. It's 0-1 up there, judging by the scoreboard. I thought there was a ball there first, but I digress. The next pitch, high, as now the ball will definitely be posted. Waiting to see what the umpire signals here. I thought it was... All right. Anyway, moving forward, Turner going back to work here. So the windup and the pitch from Roden in there for a strike. As I wait again for the signal. 2 balls, 2 strikes, as I thought. All right, good. So I was right on this. As the windup and the pitch from Roden cut on and missed. Turner goes down on strikes. So the first out achieved very, very quickly. The second strikeout of the night for Zach Turner. That's going to bring up Jeff Mejia, as the Pioneers trailing 8-3. So Mejia steps back up, as Dewey Roden, the right-handed pitcher, will now have to deal with the left-handed bat of Jeff Mejia. Mejia looking out. Roden has a 5-run cushion to work with here. Thrown in there for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, as the Pioneers trying to come back here late. Top of the 9th inning, the wind, the pitch, cut on, ground ball, that's foul. But the manager, Matt Birch, makes the grab barehanded. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, a Tioga Down showdown as Brody Moore stands on deck. Dewey Roden winds and delivers. Taken for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. As again, coming back set. Mejia looks out. The wind and the pitch. Inside. No, that clipped Mejia. So he will head down to first base. Mejia heads to first. Home plate umpire looking down. As again, Mejia showing where the ball hit him. Mejia having to run back to first base as he's showing it hit him on the elbow. So Mejia will go back in. 3 balls, 1 strike. One more opportunity here for Jeff Mejia. 3 balls, 1 strike. As now Mejia looks in. The wind and the pitch. Cut on ground ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Mejia is frustrated. Lap around there as he got hit in the elbow. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Brody Moore stands on deck. Coming set. Roden comes back set on the mound. He winds and delivers. Cut on, ground ball right there towards the shortstop. Played on a hop and in time. So 2 quick outs. And now instead of standing on first as he thought he should be, Mejia takes the seat. That's going to bring up Brody Moore. Moore with 2 outs. The last opportunity for the Elmira Pioneers. So again, Brody Moore looks out. 8-3 lead for Utica. As Elmira trying to find any way to extend this top of the 9th. The windup and the pitch outside, 1-0. Brody Moore, who has had some 9th inning heroics since coming on to the Elmira Pioneers, just looking to find a way on base here in the top of the 9th inning. That one outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 count as Brody Moore waits at the plate. The windup and pitch. Cut on and missed by Moore. 2 balls, 1 strike. As again, Brody Moore looking in. Dewey Roden winding, delivering. Taken for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. 3-1 count here. As Brody Moore waits. The windup and the pitch. Outside, Brody will take a walk. And that's going to bring up Preston Moore. Preston Moore heads for the plate. Pioneers still alive. As Brody Moore will look out. Roden gives up his first walk of the season. Coming back set, Preston Moore. Brody Moore standing on first base. Preston waits. Cuts on the first pitch he sees. 0-1. Preston waiting. Again, the windup and pitch. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brody Moore stands on first. Preston Moore at home plate. Nathan Peng waiting on deck should Preston Moore get on. Dewey Roden on the mound, trying to finish off this game for the Utica Blue Sox. The wind and the pitch. In there for a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As the Pioneers are down to their final strike. Coming back set one more time. Dewey Roden looking out. Time is called by Preston Moore. Going to break up this crowd's overwhelming enthusiasm. Preston waits. The pitch from Roden. Cut on, missed. And that was no. He says it was fouled off. So Moore could have been running all day on that one as that got way behind the catcher. So umpire says it was fouled off. Preston was swinging up at his head on that one. As now once again, the windup and pitch from Roden. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another Tioga Down showdown.
Everybody clap your hands.
As the Pioneers trying to get themselves some positive things on the end of this game. It's an 8-3 deficit right now. Off and running is Brody Moore. That is taken. Oh, I believe time might have been called there. Or are they? I'm not sure what that was. A ball is put up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So they allowed the runner to go to second. I don't know if perhaps that was a balk, maybe. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Preston waits. The wind and pitch. Cut on and missed, and that will do it. The Elmira Pioneers fall as the Blue Sox claim victory in the first meeting of the year between these two teams. Pioneers have one more game. It's tomorrow before the All-Star break. You won't want to miss a minute of it. Make sure you head on down to historic Dunfield at 4:05 p.m. tomorrow, or join me live here on YouTube. I'm John Clement. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night, Elmira.